asking, because we've had a couple of quick questions that have come through. Somebody quite rightly said, well, actually, how else would people use Vena? What would they use it for? So fairly typically, you can use Vena in your traditional FP&A, profit and loss balance sheet, cash flow projections. But what other businesses are using it for will be budgeting, be forecasting. They'll be doing the staff cost. Basically workforce planning. They'll be doing CapEx solutions. And the important thing about Vena is it's a platform. So you buy the solution as a platform, and then you expand it as you need to. You grow with it into other aspects of your business that you'd use planning for. And I think that's quite important to consider that as well. The other just thing to point out is, for me, an awful lot of these technologies have got a little disappointing in terms of the actual deployment. What you typically find is that some of the bigger solutions are deployed in a way that they do very well within the finance function, but then the business users feel a little bit exposed. They sit there thinking, I actually really like Excel, and I don't, or I use my old reporting solution that I used to use, Tableau or Click or something like that. And now they're saying, actually, I want to be able to use the environment that's right in front of me. And this gives them the ability to do that. The agentic agent will allow them to ask questions in a plain English language in a way that actually makes an awful lot of sense. So I think that's, for me, that's starting to really get to the nub of why these solutions can get deployed in a bigger way across different aspects of the business. So that might be useful.
Yeah, I'm just conscious of time. There are a couple of other questions we have had, and I think one of them we have is you've mentioned integration with Teams. You showed us how well Vena integrates with Excel. What about other parts of the Microsoft platform like Power BI, PowerPoint, and so on? Ali, is that something you can answer?
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, we do have integration with Power BI. So we call it Vena Insights. We've sort of embedded that into the Vena platform to make it easier for finance and for the business to own and manage those dashboards. So we provide a library of pre-built dashboards, which of course you can then customize or tailor to your specific KPIs or visualizations. And all of the data relationships are built off of your Vena data model. So there's no need to define star schema relationships. There's no complex coding. Again, we wanted it to be easy for the business to own and maintain, just like the rest of the Vena platform. We do also have integration into PowerPoint. So just like Power BI and Excel act as a visualization layer, PowerPoint can also act as another visualization layer. So rather than you having to update individual slides and KPIs and charts every month or every week, all of that data in those slides is automatically refreshed from Vena. And of course, if desired, we can always set up another demonstration just on those 2 points.
Okay, a couple more questions I have. The first question is, does it take a long time to implement and set up Vena? I'll take that one. We've worked with various products over the years, and what we found is that Vena is probably provides the quickest time to value in terms of getting something up and running quickly of any of the products we've worked with. Firstly, you have pre-built templates. Secondly, a lot of the interface of reporting input is done via Excel, so you're using your existing Excel skills, and it is a very, very end user product. The other thing we also find is that with most of our projects, we take a phased approach. So we will start off with an initial phase where we can have something up and running, integration with the general ledger reporting and simple budgeting within a matter of days. And we can then build on that going forward to extend it into the other areas. And as Paul mentioned, you can think of Vena as providing a platform which you can then extend into other areas, whether it's sales planning, whether it's staff planning, whether it's revenue analysis. So it's a very flexible tool. I've also had a question about what scale of businesses typically use Vena in the UK, and the answer is all sizes of business. We have our customers vary from sort of the startups like the one that Paul mentioned in his presentation, where you might only have initially sort of 2 or 3 people in the finance department within a rapidly growing business. But we also have much larger businesses, going up to hundreds of millions, if not more, of turnover. Alia, from the Vena viewpoint, is that something you can make any comments on in terms of customer size?
Yeah, I think you answered that correctly, Stephen. So again, we go anywhere from the sort of startup, scale up, SMB size all the way to enterprise customers. We do also offer sort of best practice or industry specific templates and packages. So we're not vertical or industry specific either. Anything from manufacturing, professional services, not-for-profit. Again, because Vena is a platform, you can really start to automate any process, and we're absolutely scalable as well.
And I think that's a key point to make. It is very, very scalable. There, it's a cloud-based solution with a very, very powerful Q-based database behind it, plus a relational database. Sorry to get a little bit technical here. So we do have customers who are using it for hundreds, thousands of products, many years of data. So if you are one of these larger organizations with high volumes of data, connectivity to various, sort of external systems, Vena is very good at dealing with that. If you're a small startup, the ease of use, the fact that you're using a familiar tool also plays well to that. I think that's, unless anybody has any other questions, I think that's all of the ones we've had so far.
Super. Thank you very much for that. It's just a closing summary, really, as much as anything else. For me, AI is becoming mainstream. There's a lot of questions about why and how. We're now in an era where you should be looking at what AI will deliver. And AI within the finance function needs prompts. It needs understanding of the data sources. And that's what Vena's Copilot will do. It sits on Microsoft Copilot. So, you could see Microsoft Copilot as being ChatGPT. You Google Gemini. It asks questions, but it doesn't ask questions of the finance function that understands the finance and your data. Whereas what Vena have done with Vena Copilot is ask questions in a way that mean something to you as a business. So it'll be very, very useful. And you're going to see far more of these agentic profiles being built. As Alaya said, that there's going to be a planning one coming. There's almost certainly going to be an OPEX type of profile. There'll be a number of these things that come and see these as being business experts on that particular function within your business. So really strong opportunity for people to get in and start using it. For me, who would you bet on? I bet on Microsoft, because they're putting billions into AI. So the fact that ultimately the technology that this is using is based on Microsoft, is Microsoft Copilot in that respect, is very, very interesting. Thank you very much indeed for your time, everybody. Really appreciate it. Clearly, as you can see on the screen there, please reach out to us. If you go to our website, if you want to go old school and call us up, we still like taking phone calls. It's always nice to talk to people. Our contact details are there as well, alongside Vena's, and we'd love to speak to you going forward. Thanks again for your time, everybody, today.